Welcome to Moms of the Loop podcast, hosted by and recorded for St. Louis moms. Grab your laundry basket, kick your feet up for nap time, or head out the door for pickup and spend a little time catching up with your favorite St. Louis moms. Hosted by a fellow St. Louis mom, Rebecca Coast, let's dive into our discussion today.
Hello, St. Louis moms. Trina here. I'm the podcast manager. I'm filling in for Rebecca as she's on maternity leave. I am so excited to be sitting down with a contributing writer for St. Louis Mom and one of my favorite humans, Angelica Mitchell, also known as Angie. Welcome, Angie.
Thank you so much. So happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes, I am so excited. Today we're going to talk about letting your kids grow. And it's a phase of life that I'm very interested in. And so I'm really excited to talk about kind of this empty nesting phase that you're in. But before we do that, I would love for you just to take some time to share your story so that our listeners can get to know you a little bit more.
Yes. Well, hello, everyone. I am originally from LA, so born and raised in specifically Southern California, and moved here to St. Louis in 2016. I like to say that I did not read the small print in my marriage contract, and that's how I ended up here. But no, my husband is from St. Louis, but long story, but we ended up here in St. Louis in 2016. And at the time, our son was in fourth grade, our daughter was in sixth grade. And so that was a big time for our family, a big change and a big transition. Grateful now for just this being our home. It's starting to feel like our home. We've been here now 8 years, and Leah is 20, Benji is 17.
Wow.
And so it's crazy when we sit back and think and do the math, and it's like, how in the world? And I've said this before, maybe even to you, but someone once said, days are long, years are short. And it is, as you get older, as your kids get older, it's so true.
Yeah.
So that's part of me. The other part is that I get to teach. And so this is year 25 for me. And I'm super excited to be at the International Welcome Center in the Rittner School District.
Yes.
And so that's been good. I get to work with middle school and high school students, which is new to me because I've always only worked with elementary mostly. And so this has been a growing opportunity, and it's been good.
Yeah.
And I think my kids prepared me for this new season because I wouldn't have ever thought I'd be working with high school. But, I have some experience now with my two. And so thank you, Leah and Benji, for preparing me for this work. So it's fun working with our students. And I guess I should say the International Welcome Center welcomes, works, supports newcomer immigrant students in the St. Louis Rittner area. And so I love it. As a Mexican American, first generation Mexican American, Spanish speaking, that work is very special to me.
Yeah, I think I heard recently that St. Louis is the fastest growing city of foreign born people.
It's just so beautiful.
Yes, it is beautiful. And I think I've been thinking about my own life being born and raised in America. Sometimes I'm in my own little bubble, right? And like just seeing all of these different people come to St. Louis wanting to make a living, I think it's very inspiring.
Yeah,
for sure.
I learn from my students all the time, and I admire their courage, their tenacity, and it's just beautiful when I get to hear their stories. Even just recently, I overheard students. We were doing something crafty, and so things felt a little more lax in the class. And so just to kind of listen in on a conversation between two students that were basically sharing their story, like their how they got to the country type story. And I thought, wow. Now, as a child, it was not uncommon for me to hear my dad share how he came to the country. but to hear these two young people from two different countries just kind of share and empathize. And I just thought that was just so beautiful.
Mm.
And yeah, I just never knew in St. Louis, Missouri,
Yeah.
that there would be this beautiful tapestry of people. And here we are, the archway.
Yeah.
I think it's fitting.
Oh, I think the work that you do is so important. So,
Thank you.
like, how did you, like, what made you decide that teaching was going to be your thing?
I knew I wanted to work with people. And so, as you know, part of the process when we're young is just figuring out what is that. For me, it was counseling. Then it was wanting to be a dietitian. But then I landed on education. I was, I'm the firstborn, naturally bossy, naturally just type A. Uh,
I
but
love it.
I think that, yeah, I just knew that I wanted to work with young people. And when I first started teaching as a 22-year-old in California, I was very fortunate to be back in my community. And that was very meaningful to me, just to
Mm-hmm.
be of Mexican heritage, to be back in my community and to serve and to be someone to exhort, to equip. So that was good. And then coming to St. Louis, I wasn't sure if I would continue teaching or if I would have the opportunity to still support our multilingual students. And I have.
Mm-hmm.
All the years that I've been teaching here, I have. And specifically at the school now, didn't even know that was there. But when I visited in the spring, I'm like, oh, where am I? Like, I need to be here. Like, guys, I belong here.
Yeah.
I can help.
Hire me.
Yes, exactly. So it's hard work, but it's good work. And
Okay, so tell me a little bit, like, right now, our seasons of motherhood are so different. Like, I remember meeting you for the first time,
mhm,
and I had already known about your writing because
mm,
I think what you write is just so beautiful. And I think one of the first questions I asked you was, "What is it like, almost having an empty nest?" You
mhm.
know, like, and I
Yes.
and I remember you, like, not to quote you because you're right here with
No,
me,
no, no.
but you were like,
Remind me. I'm like, what did I say?
you were like, I'm in a season of life where I get to do things
Mhm,
with my kids.
mhm,
And to me, as a young mom, I was like, whoa, right now I have to do things.
mm,
Like, if there is a dirty diaper, I have to go change it now,
mhm.
or I have to do these things right now. And so to hear that that
Yes.
you get to
Yeah.
be with your kids or share memories with your kids is just so beautiful. So I'd love for you to talk a little bit about what life is like in this season of motherhood with your kids
Yes.
being older.
Yeah. No. I'm 47 now, but I remember coming into like 44, 45, and that's when Leah was getting ready to leave, go off to college. And so that was really the beginning of me just really asking myself, like, what now? Like,
Mm-hmm.
who are you apart from a wife and mother? And like, what are the things that fill you? And so in that season, 45, 44, 5, 46, that's when I started St. Louis Mom.
Yeah.
That's when I worked a job on Main Street. That's when I joined, the Roses and Mint. Hi, ladies. And got to help them, this floral shop from time to time. And so
Yeah.
just things that filled my cup and things that got me out there exploring, doing fun things. And so I think that was the beginning of me re being reintroduced to like who is Angie now? What does she want to do? What does she like? With that, learning, okay, what does it look like to love my children well?
Mm-hmm.
And so with that, it's, we're raising adults. I've heard that, right? We're not raising children, we're raising adults. And so
Mm-hmm.
as they are high school age and now, my daughter 20, parenting just looks different.
Yeah.
And so it's just trying to understand, okay, what does that look like? And so I've said I want to love them well and I want to serve them well. And now, where I am now, even just as of this week, it's knowing how to be present. Because the
Mhm.
good about Leah and Benji being older, of course, is that they are self-sufficient. They can do their own laundry. They will do their own laundry. Leah wants to eat. She fixes her own plate. Benji needs to go to school. He can drive himself.
Mhm.
But with that, that means that it can be easy to then be disconnected.
Yeah. Mhm.
And so I think where I am now is wanting to be present and then being available, being intentional.
Mhm.
So if Leah says, "Hey, do you want to catch a movie?" Yes.
Yeah.
"Hey, do you want to go do this?" Okay.
Yeah.
And so making space, being available, being intentional, because it can be so easy to then just not be involved, And
Mhm.
Benji, I actually sent him a text recently, like 2 weeks ago, and I said, "Hey, just know that I'm still here, and like I love that you're responsible. I love that you can drive yourself. I love that you can do these things, but you can ask me or let me know when you need me or need something."
Mhm.
I don't know if
Yeah.
that makes sense. It can just be like a catch-22. Yay, they're older and more independent,
Mhm.
but it can be easy to then just not be there.
Right.
And I
Yeah.
want to be there for them.
Mhm. Yeah.
But
I know. I mean, what you talked about with presence, like, I even feel that as a young mom. Like, it's like I'm trying to be on my phone less. I'm trying to play with my kids more. I'm trying to just, they have my full attention,
mm-hmm,
because it can be so hard because we're so distracted. We're
mm-hmm,
in such a distracted world, you
mm-hmm,
know?
mm-hmm.
So with that, like, what is it like? Because Benji is a
17, yeah.
17,
Mm-hmm.
about
Senior,
to go to
doing all the
college.
things. I
What is it like doing
know.
the college search?
So crazy. Again, he's doing all the things, meeting with his counselor, has a platform. He has submitted 2 applications. It was on my list today to ask him, like, "Hey, so where are you? Like, what's the next thing?" But he's going through all the motions. And it's crazy because in my mind, it's like, "Oh, school just started. We have a year." And then I recently just booked the space where we had our last St. Louis summer superhero
Oh, yeah.
Brentwood.
Brentwood Park?
So I
Yeah.
called and they were so kind and they booked it. It's like, "Well, you're calling kind of early, so you might want to, read, blah, blah." Thinking early. And he's like, "Yeah, 6 months out." I'm like, 6 months? I'm like,
Oh,
"Benjamin, like my son, like,
uh,
wait, what?
yeah.
No, it's supposed to be like 12 more months. Like, how is it just a
Yeah.
few months?" And we don't know where he's going to go. He's applying east and west. And so it's not going to be Missouri.
Oh,
But yeah,
it might be far
I
away.
know. His heart, I think, right now says University of San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's east, George Washington.
Mm-hmm.
I've said Lindenwood. That's
Mm-hmm.
down the street from us.
Yeah.
Not not at this time.
Yes. Yeah. So, okay. What is it like as a mom, like knowing that your child will be possibly so far away,
I don't know.
you know?
I don't like it.
But also it's I feel like it's that internal struggle because you
Yes,
want them to, you want to
absolutely.
support them, you want to make
Yes,
sure they pursue their dreams and,
I know.
but yet you want them really close.
Absolutely. Yeah, no. And Benji and Lee, I would say, like, well, you went far because, again, LA, and I ended up at DePauw University in
Mm-hmm.
Greencastle, Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
And so this helps me understand what my mom must have felt at that time. Because she was like,
Yeah.
when you were gone, I cried all 4 years. I'm like, I believe it.
Oh.
But no, yeah, it's beautiful. Ultimately, I want them to thrive and to do well. I want them to be healthy above all things.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know in my heart that they're going to be better than okay. Like the whole college process can be a lot,
Yes.
and there are so many things that go into it. And part of our conversation has always been it has to make sense for our family. It has to work for our family
Mm-hmm.
because there is this idea of, well, you make your list and you do this and that, and it's just not that simple,
Yeah.
and like the catch-22 of being middle class
Mm-hmm.
is that you're not broke enough and you're not wealthy enough. And so like I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I still need help.
Yes. Yeah.
So anyhow, Benji is very cognizant. Leah's very cognizant that it has to be what's best for not just them, but the family.
Mm-hmm.
And so I am grateful for just a willingness to be open and flexible.
Yeah.
Yeah, be open-handed. So it can be a lot. And I wish there was a better way. If kids want to go to school, it
Yeah.
shouldn't be an arm and a leg.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, but I am grateful for Benji's experience and his school providing the services. And so combined with his responsibility and his commitment and work, that makes our work easier. We get to chime in on some essays, and he, shares short answer responses with us, and so that's good to get into his head and see like his worldview, to see his perspective,
Yeah.
and they have so much depth, and it's beautiful to see that.
Mm-hmm. So, can you tell me a little bit what it was like when Leah graduated?
Yes, I know, Leah, my firstborn,
Yes.
the one that made me a mommy.
Yeah.
I know, yes. I remember that was definitely hard or harder. One, I'm sure she wouldn't mind me sharing this, but we had a tough patch. Junior year, we've always been so close,
Mm-hmm.
but there were some growing pains just in figuring out our mom-daughter relationship. And so that pained me because we had never had any issues and tension. And so I am grateful that junior year, we figured that out. We worked through that. And so then we had senior year where by her request, we had weekly coffees. And I was so grateful for that time
Mm-hmm.
because she wanted to
Yeah.
and she initiated. And so it was just sweet to have these weekly check-ins to just have a pulse. And that helped me just to know, like, where is she? What does she need? And so that leading up to her finishing high school and going off was very helpful. Now she ended up at Mizzou, and I didn't know where she would be. I knew in my mind that she would go back west to California, but going to Mizzou being closer was what she needed.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was grateful for that. And yeah, you just don't know what it's going to be like. Will they come visit? Will they want you to go visit? Will they want you to call? Do you call every day?
Yeah.
Do you text? And if you text, do you add periods? Like
Yeah.
all the things. But yeah, it's just learning how to ask. Like, I love to come visit. Pick a weekend in October that works for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
hey, would you like for me to do X, Y, and Z?
Right.
And so, yeah, it's figuring that out because you don't want to. I don't want to cramp their style, and I don't want to smother them.
Yeah.
So it is part of the process of just figuring out what that means and not having expectations. Like it wasn't an
Mm-hmm.
expectation like, well, now you're away, so you have to call me every day or you have to do this and that. No, it was just, okay, I want you to be safe.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to be well. And so I'm grateful. And she's, again, 20 and it's crazy. She'll be 21 this year.
Yeah. Just growing up.
I know, so fast. But yeah, it's having adult children, young, grownish kids, young adults. It's just new territory. Just
Yeah.
like with earlier years, there's no manual.
Right.
And but I'm grateful that at every turn, when things have come up, we just navigate them together. My husband, shout out to my husband.
Yes.
I'm grateful that we get to do this together.
Yeah.
And my kids, they'll let me know, like, lady.
Mm-hmm.
They keep me humble. Yes.
My last question is, what was it like sending Leah off and then seeing her for the first time
Yes.
after? What
I
was that like?
know.
Because I'm
Yes.
thinking of like, we have Thanksgiving coming up. It
Mm-hmm.
might be the first time some of our families are seeing their kids
Mm-hmm.
after, you know,
Yes.
after whatever they are doing, like
Yes.
college or work or whatever.
Yes.
So, what was that feeling like?
I know. It was beautiful because first things get louder again,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
with us, it's only a household of four. When Leah went off, it just got really quiet,
yeah.
you know. Um, and so just having her back, just the house felt fuller, and Benji and Leah have always had a sweet relationship. So even just them having that proximity. And again, when she came back, it was knowing that she was going to have things to do, places to be. And so
Mm-hmm.
not having expectations, but also
Mm-hmm.
saying like, hey, we would love to have a meal. When could we make that happen? And so it's just having conversations for parents whose children are coming back for the holidays. Just ask, is there something you would like to do while you're here? Is there a
Mm-hmm.
meal that I can fix you?
Mm-hmm.
So what are you thinking your break is going to look like?
Yeah.
And just be available, be flexible. And if this is your firstborn coming back, just have no expectation of them just wanting to be with you. And that's
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Yeah.
because I think about being, when I was at that age, I was always out like, okay, I'm gone, I'm going here now. And so, yeah, that's kind of how it is now too. The
Yeah.
kids have their routines and they have their things. So I don't have expectations about what it needs to look like when they're back or when they're home. But we make room. Like, hey, is there something you need? Can I fix this? Do you want to do that?
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, give them room. Give them, some choices, and
And
just
just,
enjoy them. Be present
yeah.
and delight.
Mm-hmm. Be present and delight.
Yes.
I think those are two great words to end with. So,
Yeah.
oh, my
Thank you.
friend, thank you so much
Thank
for being
you.
here
Thank you
today
so
and
much.
sharing your heart.
Always good talking to you,
Yes.
and thank you so much for this time. So
Oh,
good.
okay. Well, Moms of the Lou, we will catch you next time. And I'm excited to let you know that Rebecca will be back for
Yay.
December content. So I hope you have a great week, and we'll catch you next time on the next episode.
Thanks for listening to Moms of the Lou. We hope it encouraged you and put a pep in your step and helped you get to know our community a little bit better. Be sure to find us on Instagram, @StLouis_mom. You can find us on Facebook, St. Louis Mom. You can find us on our website, www.stlouismom.com. In case nobody else tells you today, you're a great mom and you're doing a great job. Chat with you next time.